It's Amy, your friendly hidden consumer expert. There's my website if you want to find out more about who a hidden consumer is and what we do. We're going to talk more about my article today, and I want to break down one of my favorite topics, which is data. Um, I think a lot of what we do comes down to how we measure our websites, how we're measuring where our people are coming from, and things like of that nature. So, um, data is a big part of what I do. It builds up my strategy because through data, I've been able to figure out how people shop, right? I've got over 2 decades of experience in retail, customer service. And one of the big things that I did was I would take stores and I would turn them around. But I didn't do that by just walking in and going, well, I think we should do this and I think we should do that. I looked at the data, including P&L reports to really show me what's the health of a store and why was it failing. And from that data, I was able to take stores and within a couple of years go from $500,000 stores to $8 million stores. It all came down to I had to start somewhere and I needed the numbers so I could put the story together. So when it comes to your hidden consumer, we have to do the same thing. The difference is when I started working in retail, websites weren't really quite the thing yet. And a lot of the stores I turned around, it was as websites were becoming a thing, as people were starting to shop online. So how do you take that data that I had in person and put it on your website? Well, that's where Google Analytics comes in for me, is I can really see how traffic is using. I don't know who's there, but what I can derive from those stats is it someone who is interested in what you're doing? And for that, your key KPI is going to be your engagement time. How long are users on your overall website? But the next thing you want to look at to take it a step further is that you should be questioning, okay, well, where are they spending time on my website and what pages? And if you're an e-commerce store, it's really key to know what products are the products that people are spending a lot of time on. Where's that interest? Because you want to be able to contrast that with what isn't an interest. And maybe that there's a product that you're like, hey, we need to get that on top of, right? That product isn't selling well. So your KPIs are really key in understanding what your user is doing. So that engagement time is key. And then the next big KPI is, as I stated, is it's really about where are they going? What are they doing? How is that flow? Think about what you want users to do on your website and are you seeing it? Now, what people are actually doing, does that fit? Does it work? Is it leading to conversions? Because maybe you need to think, maybe you have to change your strategy to fit what people are doing if it's working. If it's not working, you need to do more to guide people through your website and to really plan out that story. So people who are engaged and want to learn more are getting this complete story to feel that connection to work with you. And that's the key with the hidden consumer. These aren't people who just randomly buy products. They can't, whether they're concerned about, diabetes and they have to watch out for all hidden sugars and hidden salts, or it's someone who has an intolerance to ingredients or someone who has an allergy. There's going to be different reasons that people are being very cautious about what we buy. And unfortunately, marketing in the food, beverage, and skincare cosmetics industries is really generalized by trying to fake us into buying your product without giving us substance. There's no transparency. So when you see your engagement times and you're looking at what people are looking for, you really want to see who's not fitting the norm. Do you have someone that spends a lot of time on your about page? Or do you have do you have an ingredients page where people are spending a lot of time there? They're looking for something specific. Do you have one product? What's your marketing around this one product that seems to be getting a lot of attention? Is it transparent? Because if you're getting a lot of attention, but it's not getting as many sales as it's getting looks, there's something wrong. There's information missing that people need that's slowing down your sales. So that's where it's all kind of comes back and ties in. And this is why I love data, right? Because you don't know until you look at the numbers and see where people are at. You just don't know what's going on, and you have to make assumptions. And I'd rather base what we do on numbers and data than really making an assumption. There's still going to be bias in reading those numbers. There's still going to be assumptions being made, but we have something more concrete when we have a number to look at than when we're just saying, well, thinking from our own perspective of why someone is doing something, right? It's really cool when I go through and do marketing strategies with the people who I do audits for their websites. And I can really show them, like, here's your top blogs. Like, who did you realize that this is where a lot of people were spending time? Okay, now let's think about those top blogs and what does this tell us about the user and what they're looking for from you? And do you know, can you use this information now to retarget your marketing strategy to bring in that user to actually start working with you? Right? It's the same in e-commerce. What are people looking at? And this is going to tie in really well with next week's topic when we talk about customer service, my other favorite topic, because data is a huge part of customer service. And it's the other side of that data that we really need. It's like, what's that? Ooh, what's that fun? It's like when you're working in a store and you get to see what's going on in front of you. Customer service is your link to that. They're going to be able to answer those questions that you still have about your data. So understanding your customer service teams, what they do and how they're trained is going to be a big part in that hidden consumer journey as well. So that will be for next week. So if you want to read more about all of that fun stuff, here is the link to the article, The Hidden Consumer Journey, which is February's article. Go ahead, click that link, read the article. We'll be talking more about this over the next couple of weeks. And if you just want more information about me and how to get a hold of me or follow me on different social media channels, you can go to my Linktree, just Linktree at Amy Graves. All right, if you have questions, let me know. Love to have a conversation with you. And let's see if we can find you some more numbers.